I know something about you, very, very personal. Something I know about you that maybe most people wouldn't know, even people who know you well. You are having problems with your romantic partner. Practically nobody knows you're having these problems. And I also know that before you got together, there were red flags. There were signs that these problems were going to come up, but you turned away from it because the person's beautiful or very handsome, great personality, or the sex was so great and satisfying and enjoyable. You turned away from those red flags. And now that you've been involved 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years, your romantic partner sometimes is driving you crazy. The person that you have devoted your life to, some of the time you just can't stand them, or you can't stand her. I know that about you. I know how deeply it affects you. Could be many things. Could be something unfair going on. You do all the housework, the cleaning, the cooking. You go to work, you take care of the kids. They just feel he's just not doing his part. You feel taken advantage of, exploited. It turns you off even sexually. The unfairness of this, the exploitive nature of it. And you say to yourself, I didn't sign up for this. I know that. Or you find out that your romantic partner is really very messy. You like a clean house, an orderly house. And the person not only doesn't help clean, but creates a mess after mess in the morning, the afternoon, at night, whenever that person is there. And I know this can really bother you. This can make you nervous, anxious, depressed. Or you find that your romantic partner flirts with other people. If you're a man, you see your wife, your girlfriend flirting with another man. Maybe nothing's going to come of it, but still it's going on. She's laughing at his jokes. It's going on. They're talking, having a good time, and you're being ignored. Or reverse that. A woman seeing her man talking to another woman, flirting, back and forth, sees it. Perhaps you know nothing is going on, but you're being ignored. And this other woman is getting all the attention from your man. It just doesn't happen once or twice. It happens often. You're really having a problem with that. Makes you insecure, makes you jealous, makes you feel neglected, abandoned. Or some of you have a romantic partner that's always jealous, wants to keep you in a closet so nobody can talk to you. You feel so controlled. Whatever you do, no matter how innocent you are, the person's accusing you of flirting, or worse yet, of cheating, and you're not, and it's driving you crazy. You're innocent, but because the person's insecurities, or perhaps because that person had a partner before that cheated on him, you're getting that baggage. Your romantic partner has this baggage, and you're paying the price, and you feel it's not fair. Why am I paying the price for his baggage? Or he says, why am I paying the price for her baggage? You're having a problem with that. Many of you feel that your romantic partner doesn't really listen. They have time to listen to everybody else. The mother, the father, the brother, the sister, the friends. But they don't listen to you. I know so many of you have that problem going on, and you're really annoyed by it, and it's a real turnoff towards your romantic partner. I know that about you. I know how neglected you feel, abandoned, left out. I know how unfair and out of balance this gets. Doesn't listen. As a matter of fact, you feel there's just no communication. And so the gulf, the distance between the two of you is getting larger and larger every day. There's no communication. A woman might say, we don't communicate, but he always wants sex, and I don't feel connected. I don't want to have sex with him. He's like a stranger to me. I know that's going on. Then some of you will say, she's always nagging me, complaining, blaming me all the time, complaining, blaming, so negative. It's a big problem. Everything's negative. There's no respect. So each person says, I don't feel there's any respect for me. And I do so much for my partner, and there's no gratitude. I'm taken for granted. I know you have that. Taken for granted. No gratitude, no respect, much less admiration. I know you're going through that. As much as you do, and as hard as you try to look good for your romantic partner, there's no compliments. He doesn't notice it. He never says anything. He just maybe wants to watch TV, have a beer, whatever, but he's not noticing you. You feel unseen. Now, you might think, I have a microphone in your house, because I know all of you are going to feel like Dr. Nerenberg is describing what I'm going through. How could he know? Well, I'm 84 years old. I've been doing this work 50 years. Been married 35 years, have 7 children. Been in the trenches with so many of you wonderful, beautiful human beings that I know these things. We became one. I understand your voice, your concerns. I know that you feel put down. Not only don't you feel respected or gratitude, but you feel put down a lot. Or you feel that your romantic partner chooses his mother over you, or chooses his friends over you, watching football games over you. I know that's going on. You might also feel that the person has politics or religious views that are really irksome to you, opposite of yours. And you feel you can't have a calm, reasonable conversation about it. Well, I want you to know these are normal. I'm going to help tell you the best way to deal with it. Today, by the way, is my 1000th presentation number 1000 of these lectures in the series. And today is best ways to deal with what you don't like about your romantic partner, what you don't like about your romantic partner. So given that you have this, and given it's normal, that certain things, perhaps many things you don't like about your romantic partner, I'm going to tell you the best ways to deal with it. First of all, I know you got together, and in your way, you love your romantic partner. You're just grateful to have that person in your life. That's there. You may not feel that all the time, especially when you're disliking him or her. When you're seeing these shortcomings, these imperfections, it's a turnoff. You can't help getting that feeling. You can't help getting those negative thoughts about your romantic partner. You didn't choose them. You're not to blame. You're not responsible for having those thoughts. It's based on your family upbringing, societal norms, and genetics. You can't help it. There's 2 types of thoughts. The ones you can't help, the thoughts that pop in your mind that do not define who you are. And the second category are the thoughts that you can choose to balance it with, not to negate those thoughts. Those thoughts are powerful. Those thoughts are negative, and they're powerful. And it turns out, by the way, that 80% of people's thoughts are negative. So now how do you choose these thoughts? So let me show you the power that you have to choose thoughts where you can speak light into that darkness, or you can speak a little bit of light into that darkness, because those negative thoughts about your romantic partner are a darkness. They are a veil separating you. They are painful. They make you isolated, make you lonely. I know that. That's a fact. Even if you're right about your judgment, it's still hurting you, making you lonely, making you withdrawn, depressing you. So I'm going to show you how you can choose thoughts to speak a little light into that darkness, and it's going to help. It's going to help a lot. Okay. I know you love your partner. So one of the commands of honor is I wish you well. And one of the laws of honor is I love you. So you close your eyes and you look into that veil, into that darkness, or if you can, picture the person, but if you can't do that, just see the separation and you go, I love you. I wish you well. I love you. I wish you well. Now, you don't feel the love, but love isn't just a feeling. It's based on a commitment, a decision to love this person. I love you, and I wish you well. Or you could go even stronger than that. I love you. I adore you. I cherish you. I wish you well. I love you. I respect you. I appreciate you. I adore you. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of light going to that darkness. But you have to have those laws of honor, the laws of love, ready to go. Otherwise, the imperfections of your romantic partner are going to be intolerable. And your imperfections are intolerable to him or her. So the love, the well-wishing, using the laws of love, using the command of honor, I wish you well. Now, if you believe in God, you can ask God, God, please help me to love my partner. I need help in loving. Help me feel the love that I have for him. Help me feel the love I have for her. If you believe in prayer, if you believe in God, that's doable. If you don't believe in God, you could say, I choose to love you. I want to love you more. So if you can't wish the person well at that moment, you go, I want to wish you well. I want to love you. I want to cherish you. That's a way of getting through that darkness, to put a little light, speaking a little light into your own darkness. You have to recognize that's a darkness. That dislike of the person who's the most central figure in your life, it's a torment to have that kind of negative reaction, and you can't help having it. Don't blame yourself for it. But you can speak a little light into that darkness. Now, for those who believe in God, you can use what I call one of the derivatives of a command of honor. And it's this: God, I'm extremely grateful for the gift of trials and tribulations that bring me closer to you. God, I'm extremely grateful for the gift of trials and tribulations that bring me closer to you. Because for people who believe in God, or divine intelligence, or a higher power, you're going to turn to your spiritual nature more, because it's very oppressive to have these feelings about the person most important and most central in your life, and you're having this dislike, this disdain. You don't want to have that. So you turn to God more and say, oh, God, help me. Bring me a greater love in my heart. Bring me a forgiveness for what this person is. So you can use that derivative. Now, another derivative that you can use from the commands of honor is, what's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? Well, person doesn't really do his share around the house. But I'm grateful for what he does do. He's a hard worker. He's a good father. In his way, I know he loves me, so you're grateful. That's one, is a law of gratitude. I'm extremely grateful. And the best true story, you want to find what that is. Could be, well, this has been hard for me, but it's helped me grow in my patience. It's helped me grow in my love, because I can love that person with those imperfections. God loves me with my imperfections, and I want to love him with his imperfections. So you grow in the power of love. Now, the other step of growth is, yeah, he's imperfect, but I love him with all his imperfections. I just want him exactly as he is. He's screwed up in these areas, but, I've got my problems too. He puts up with me. Heck, he does so much for me in his own way. I love you. I love you just the way you are. You annoy the heck out of me sometimes, but I love you. Now, that's a beautiful stage to be at. It's doable. And you'll also find, if you find something to compliment your romantic partner about, something genuine, you're looking good today. I like how you look. You made a nice breakfast. I really appreciate that. Hey, you brought me flowers. Thank you so much. You remembered my birthday, that card. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. I'd be so lonely without you. If you could do that, the more often the better. Because what that does is it helps speak light into that darkness. And that's what you want, speaking light into that darkness. And then you feel that connection. You're still the same way, still messy, spending too much money, doing whatever. But the love is there. And you're not tormented by your dislike of the person that's most important to you. That's the torment, that veil between the two of you. Now, I'm not talking about severe cases with his infidelity, this type of thing. I'm talking about normal, everyday things that come up. So there is hope. Now, it's also good if you can laugh at yourself. You laugh at yourself. I'm overreacting so much to every little thing. One of the laws of honor is, that's ridiculous, silly Willie. That's ridiculous, silly Willie. I'm being ridiculous here. I'm overreacting. He's a good guy, good provider, good husband, good father. I'm a knucklehead. I got to get over this. That's another approach, is finding where you can laugh at yourself. See, I'm kind of a funny person. I'm just overreacting like this. It's, I get so petty. I just get so petty. Now, I'm not saying that's always appropriate, but that helped. Or I love you so much. I love you with all your imperfections. And thank you, by the way, for loving me with mine. So these are the ways to deal with, or what I call the best ways to deal with what you don't like in your romantic partner. Now, I'm going to open up our conversation to our beautiful, wonderful people who are here, keeping in mind what you have to say, what you have to ask is as interesting or even more interesting than what I've said, because people feel part of a community when they hear what you have to say, and it makes people feel less alone because of what you add. So I'm going to open that up for you now to ask or say anything you'd like to bring up at this time.
This is Jerry.
Oh, Jerry, the Justice Warrior. Jerry, let me hear what you have to say.
He says,
yeah. One of the things that I honestly, I led most of my relationships with this statement, which is to say, if you're going to be with me, the last thing you want to do is make me feel unappreciated. Once I feel unappreciated, that's when you lose me. And because I know what I bring to the table, which is a lot. I'm tremendous. I'm mastodonic. I'm huge. I'm humongous. And I know what I bring to the table. And I know and not only do I bring it in physical form, I bring it in spirit form.
All right, let me interrupt you, Jerry. Let me interrupt you a second, because I want to piggyback right on what you're saying, then we'll come back to what you say. First of all, Jerry is an amazing guy. This guy is deep, loving, very brings a lot to the table. Just he's not exaggerating. But I would say that Very few people could appreciate who you are, no matter how deserving you are. Well, very few people could truly appreciate the greatness of this man, but very few people could appreciate the greatness of who you are. I know that. They don't see the full beauty. They don't see what you do day to day. And most of all, they don't know how you deal with your own negative reactions, not to hurt them with what's in your mind. You try to spare their feelings. They have no idea of the sacrifices you make to be in a relationship. No idea. So the idea of being adequately appreciated is universal. Let me take it further. Who appreciates sufficiently what God has done for us? Nobody. You might have a lot, but you can always have more. You have some gratitude for what your significant other brings to the table. You sure as heck could have a lot more. I know that for a fact. I know that's for a fact. So I'm sure that Jerry has never been fully appreciated, given the amazing individual he is. And I know I'm not just saying that. This is an amazing man, and I believe that nobody can sufficiently appreciate him or see the beauty of his heart, the generosity of his heart. I don't think it's possible. I don't think people can do it. So I'm sure Jerry has felt unappreciated all his life, as everybody else has. Jerry maybe more so, because here's the thing. The more you give, the more hurtful it is not to be appreciated. You sacrifice your life, you do for the other. And the more you give, you just feel, what the heck, I'm doing all this, and there's no respect, no appreciation, no gratitude. Well, you want to go past that. I'm just going to give and do what I have to. And then if you need to, you say, hey, sweetheart, I need a little more gratitude if you can express it, if you feel it. I'm very grateful for you, what you do, this, that, and the other thing. But I'll tell you another thing. You will never get the gratitude you deserve. No. But you know what you want? You know what you crave? Now you know what to give. The thing you crave, that gratitude, that appreciation, that's what you want to give the other person. You're not going to get it. No, you're not going to get it sufficiently, but you can give it. And you know what to give? Because you know what you want. Give the thing you want. I love you, sweetheart. You're amazing. You look beautiful. Thank you for making that breakfast. It was yummy. And you're so devoted. I appreciate you so much. Give the thing that you crave to get. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to receive it. No. But I'll tell you one thing. Giving it will speak a lot of light into your own darkness. It will uplift you. It will uplift your partner. Speaking it into your darkness will uplift you, your significant other, and anybody else in the facility will go, whoa, whoa. So there's the key of knowing what to give based on what you want to get. Fact. I didn't know that when I was younger. I sure know it now. And I'm sharing it with you now. But like I said, I'm 84 years old. I finally know what I'm doing. So I can tell you this. I'm telling you exactly how to deal with your situation. Jerry, thank you as always. You're amazing. I have nothing but love and respect for you, brother. And you are a big guy. But you're not only a big guy, you got a big heart.
I appreciate that. And I really do appreciate that. I don't say that facetiously. I think it's I think what you just said was pretty profound in the sense that what we think we deserve, we ought to give it. And you know, it's just difficult. I believe, at least from my perspective, it's difficult because we've been giving everything. Like, what else do you want from me? You know what I mean? And so, yes, like it's like that extra little inch, you know, the 99th yard or the last yard. Say, you want this too.
Hey, let me tell you something about, Jerry, let me tell you something about the last yard. After you give the last yard, the very last yard, you can give another yard. Oh, no. There's another yard that you could give. Now, you may not want to give it. You may say, wow, I give so much, I'm going to start withholding. Okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying that at all. You might feel giving too much to this person just makes that person a taker. Some people give an inch, they take a mile. That's not good for you, not good for them. Some people give an inch, they give a mile. I know my wife, give her an inch, she gives you a mile. But I've had other situations where I gave an inch and a mile was taken. So you have to determine, you know what, I don't think I want to give that much more. But on the other hand, you have to make that determination. Or
Well,
at
here's a
least you know
question for
what
you.
you want to give because of what you want. Yes.
How would you best or what would be your advice to determine who's just taking? And because we're all willing to give to a degree.
Hold it, Jerry. Jerry. Let me interrupt you.
Determine when someone is not?
Yeah, Jerry. Let me interrupt you, brother.
Giving?
No, Jerry. Let me interrupt you a second again because you make so many wonderful, wonderful points. Firstly, most people are takers. Most, not all. Probably 90% are takers. You've got 10% that are givers. Now, you could argue about that number. You could say 80% are givers, 20% are takers, but it's way much more takers than givers. Now, that's the nature of this life. That's the nature of what we're dealing with. Now, if you want to give and that's fulfilling to you, then do it. Now, it could be some point you go, hey, there's got to be some reciprocity here. And that's understandable. At some point you say, you know what? This is out of balance, too far to balance. I think, for instance, my wife and I, we've been married 35 years, I think it's way out of balance. I'm not a taker, but my wife gives a lot more than I do. I try to even stop her. I can't stop her. So she asked me to do a little something. I jumped to her. I said, well, you've done so much for me. I'm going to do this for you. You asked for nothing. My wife's so independent. So our relationship's way out of balance, in my opinion. I mean, she cooks and cleans. Heck, she gave me a haircut this morning. Always doing for me and the kids all the time. And asked for very little in return. Very little.
I could use a haircut.
Yeah, well, she did that. I haven't been to a barber in 35 years. So here's the thing. That's way out of balance. But I adore her. I cherish her. And I let her know my feeling for her. I'm so grateful. But it's never, whatever I give, it's not enough. And I feel the same way about God. What God has given me, whatever I do for God, it's nothing. It's like way out of balance. What God has given me, these fingers, his eyes, the life, you, to be in relationship with you. I mean, what can I do? I mean, it's a one-way street. God given to me and given a little possible. So I have God given to me way out of balance. I have my wife given to me way out of balance because I'm not giving enough back. But I'm just, all I can do is give gratitude, give compliments. I'm complimenting my wife from morning till night, from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. And it's genuine because this is way the heck out of balance. Even my motorcycle today, one of the lights was out. She saw it. She went and fixed it. So I put that thing in and was getting this and the other. I mean, it's just like, what? She made my food. She makes some food for me to take to the office. I had a fly go in my eye. I was on my motorcycle. She said, well, my mother taught me this cure with tea. So she put tea in my eye. She said, let me put some tea in your eyeball. I got tea in it. She kept doing it. I mean, all day long, my wife's doing for me. And she does some things that really annoys the heck out of me sometimes. I go, what the heck? I mean, she's amazing. So, I mean, it can be out of balance. As it is with us and God, and it certainly is with me and my wife. But I was married before, and it wasn't, I wouldn't call it a real marriage. My real wife is my wife, Maheen. But it was way out of balance. And, there were just some things that got too far damaging. So in any case, that's neither here nor there. But I want to say I've been on the thing where somebody's a big taker all the time and somebody who's a giver all the time. And I'm a giving guy. I'm a decent guy. As I become more honorable, I become more decent. But the point is, you have to make that decision for yourself. I'm just telling you, you know what to give because you know what you want. And every situation is individual. You have to make some decision about how you're going to navigate this. Sometimes to keep giving to a taker will ruin that person or become an enabler. You enable them to just go on with their taking and narcissism and unfairness. So you have to make that decision. There's no harm in saying, hey, sweetheart, I love you. Can you make dinner today? I'm pretty tired. Hey, sweetheart, I love you. I wonder if you can go shopping right now for me and pick up some coffee for me. I mean, you can ask, and then you can see what the person's going to do.
If I might interject.
Go ahead, please, Jerry, please.
One thing that I've certainly, and it's funny because, you could give advice and it's hard for you to take your own, so, which is to say, I've told so many people, you can't be mad at a taker for being in take mode, and you can't be mad at a giver for being in give mode. So if you've been a giver all your life, don't be upset. You've been a giver and they've been taking because you're in give mode. But it's, I think what's happening for most of us in this room is that we are spent in the sense that we've given what we believe is too much at this point, and now we are in take mode. It's time for us to take back.
Okay, Jerry, let me cut you out because you make so many wonderful points. I have to keep taking it bit by bit because there's so much to unpack in the wonderful, amazing things you're saying. You reach a point where you say, that's enough. You reach that point. I'm not saying you shouldn't reach that point. I'm not saying you're wrong. You have to make that judgment. I'm giving you ways to deal with it. But it could reach some point where you say, you know what, this isn't doable anymore. You have to make that determination. I'm not going to say that's the wrong decision. I'm just going to say this is ways I'm giving you ways to speak light into that darkness if you so choose. I'm just giving you the ways of honor to do it. But at some point, you may have to draw a boundary and live with that, whatever that boundary is. So I'm not saying you shouldn't do that or you can't do it. I'm just saying you have to make that decision. By the way, I'm not really good at putting those boundaries personally, but there's a time when it's necessary.
I guess we just wish someone would draw that boundary for us, and they're not going to do it. No. You have to draw it for yourself, which is to say you have to respect yourself, love yourself first before.
Well, let me tell you about loving yourself first.
Your own boundaries.
Let me tell you about loving yourself. Because a lot of people have a misunderstanding of that. A lot of people love yourself means being selfish, self-centered, looking after number one, me. A lot of people think that's what it is. It's not. Loving yourself means to live with honor. And by that, I mean you give and give. At some point, you realize this could damage the relationship. So to protect you, to protect me, to protect our relationship, I'm not going to give as much because I'm going to start resenting it, and that won't be good for either of us. So it's not selfish to say I'm going to give less. I think it's more honorable for me to give less because I'll damage the relationship. It's enabling you. It's weakening you. I know there's been parents who have spoiled rotten their kids, and the kids just become disabled. They can't do anything on their own because the parents have just overdone it. So that's not honorable. You want to make sure that you're not weakening the person. You're not diminishing the person. So you want to just, the bridge in the teachings of honor is, what's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So loving yourself means to live with honor. Doesn't mean, I got to look after number one. I got to look after me. I matter the most. Look, I'm important. I'm the most important. I have to take care of me. Nobody else is going to. That's not self-love. That's just self-centeredness. It's not self-love. But that's been passed off as self-love. It's not. Living with honor is the only self-love there is. And it's not honorable to keep allowing yourself to be taken advantage of because you're allowing that person to be dishonorable. So out of that motive, you're protecting that person, you're protecting you, you're protecting the relationship. The big difference of what I'm calling self-love and what you've been calling self-love, what society is telling you self-love is, that's an incorrect idea. Very dangerous idea of self-love. This is the correct version of it. Yeah, please continue. Yes, Jerry, you're amazing. You always inspire me. I want to see who else has something to say, Jerry.
Dr. Nerenberg.
Who's speaking?
This is Lori Womack.
Lori.
I'm 3.5 months into this program. I haven't been able to speak, but I want to speak about this topic. just because I feel I've been married for 30 years to my wonderful best friend. We have been through trials and tribulations, but one of the most important things, never go to bed mad. Always give a kiss and say nothing else. And just like I challenge everybody, if you have a significant other or a child or a mother or father that you live with, just go up, give them a hug, give them a kiss, and that's it. And then that starts something that's so important.
Well, Lori, I think that's beautiful. That's like ancient advice. Don't go to bed angry. That's true, and that's really great advice. For those that can do that, to give that hug, to give that kiss, to give that statement of gratitude, that statement of love is great. Sometimes some people can't do that, or they're just worn out. They just can't do it. But when possible, Lori, that's the best advice imaginable when people can do it. But there's times when people just can't continue to do it. They feel so resentful. But thank you for saying that, Lori. And, that your marriage is going through those trials and tribulations and you're together. It's 30 years. That's proof that what you're doing works. But it works because there's enough there between the two of you for it to work. And I'm thankful that you have that. And you're an example of what can be, because not many marriages go on for 30 years. So your statement about, this can be done. Like we've been together 35 years married. Well, that's a statement. Really? 35 years? Yeah. Now, I've heard of a couple that were married 80 years without a single fight, not one argument. Well, it turns out they were sharing the same hearing aid. That's a joke, by the way.
That was funny. It's hard, but it's simple. Sometimes we focus so much on our job and our work and taking care of our family, but most importantly is that your most important job is your family and your children and the love that you have for each other. And just the simplest things that we can do are just a gesture, and like saying, oh, even if I look ugly, my husband still tells me, oh, honey, you look beautiful. I'm like, no, I don't. But anyways, just
I'm laughing. That's funny. Yeah.
And even if you have no one to say I love you to, just look in the mirror and tell you love yourself. I mean, so anyways, but thank you, Dr. Nerenberg.
Well, thank you, Lori.
Beautiful, beautiful time for me with all the people that are on the call right now, and you and Amber and everybody that has helped me. So thank you.
Well, you're both welcome. It's a privilege to know you and to be a part of your journey and a guide in your life. And thank you for sharing that love and that loving advice. Who else has something you'd like to ask or say?
Dr. Nerenberg, Diego here.
Diego in Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Diego.
Back in Thailand, back in my sanctuary here in Bangkok.
Okay.
Dr. Nerenberg, first and foremost, congrats on the 1,000th episode of the or the lecture here. That's definitely a major accomplishment, I'm sure, for you. Can't thank you enough for everything that you're doing for all of us. But what I wanted to say is everything that you discussed during this lecture here, story of my life here, Matt. That's definitely something that I feel like people just take advantage of you. You give so much to people and no one ever appreciates you. But I think you hit the nail on the head there, my friend. I think you have the secret sauce. If we were to focus more on understanding that we also have our own flaws, and I say we as the people in general, like the whole world.
I do, you do, yes.
If we were to focus more on understanding that we have our own flaws and that we might rub people off the wrong way unintentionally, if we were to focus more on that, then I feel like that could be more of a cure for this issue that we have with society. Just focus on that focus on ourselves, that we also rub people off the wrong way, that we have our own flaws, and just accept that and accept other people for their flaws as well, because no one's perfect. We're not perfect. Well, perfection doesn't even exist in my opinion.
Well, let me piggyback on what you're saying, Diego. The amazing things you're saying. We're imperfect people in an imperfect world doing the best we can. Imperfect people, imperfect world, doing the best we can. And whatever we do, believe me,
Receiving perfect
It's-
advice, by the way.
whatever we do, believe me, it's not enough because we could have done more, always. What was that, Diego?
Oh, no, that was me. That was Jerry. I was saying receiving perfect advice, but
Good.
still being imperfect.
Thank you for that, Jerry. Thank you for that, Diego.
And I just want to say, by the way, if anybody can hear me or if you can hear me,
I can hear
I'm
you.
so proud of Diego. I am jealous of Diego and his entire life, and I want his strife. Diego, you're doing well. You're amazing, and you're something that I look forward to being like.
Well,
Thank
Diego,
you, Jerry. That means a lot. I mean, I'll tell you this, Jerry. If I can do it, anyone can. Trust me. I'm not supposed to be here, man. I'm not supposed to have this life. I wasn't destined to have this life, but I just made it what it is, and I earned every little bit of it. So, like I said, my friend, if I can do it, trust me, anyone can.
well, Diego went for his dream, and that's why he's in
Thank you for
Thailand.
speaking light into my darkness. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much for always your contributions, Diego, and thank you for your friendship, your brotherhood. I'm grateful. Now,
Thank you, doctor. I appreciate you. Thank you.
thank you. Who else has something you want to ask or say? Hugh.
I was married to my ex-wife for about 2.5 years, and it was horrible.
So he was married to his ex-wife 2.5 years. It was horrible. Yeah. And by the way, he makes a lot of ex-wife jokes all the time. Yeah.
It made me appreciate the right girl so much more.
Then when he married his beloved wife, Cheryl, they had an amazing marriage. She passed away, but it made her appreciate her more. So that's the good thing that came out of a bad situation. That's the best true story about the problem. The worst story is he was married to a woman that was a nightmare for him. He might have been a nightmare for her too, I'm sure. But that's neither here nor there. She was a nightmare for him. And the best true story about that is when he met the love of his life, his true beloved, Cheryl, it was like he recognized paradise. He recognized this relationship, and they had a beautiful, beautiful marriage. They really did. So that's the best true, that's an example of the best true story about these situations.
You know, this is for some of the people who think they're in the wrong place.
Yeah, he's saying, okay, picking it up, this is for people who feel they're in the wrong place. Some of you might feel that way. Some of you just really want to just work this through and learn to speak this light into the darkness. Who else has something you'd like to ask or say?
Dr. Nerenberg, Diego here again. I just wanted to piggyback on the wisdom that you shared, which he always does. But I just wanted to say that sometimes you have to go through that in order to realize that you don't want that, and in order for you to find out what you do want and appreciate more what you do want.
That's so true.
Just with anything.
Well, I'm going to build on that. My wife.
I think that's going, back to being thankful for your trials and tribulations because they make you who you are today.
Well, let me be specifically with that. My wife said, "I wish I met you before you're married to your ex," and I said to her, "No. I wasn't the right man yet. I had to go through that to be the right man for you." So that's the best true story about my past situation.
Me too.
And the same for you. So these things work for, all things work for good for those who seek the good. In terms of scripturally, all things work for good for those who love the Lord. That's a true statement. So I'm going to tell you what a pleasure and what a delight has been to be here with you, to share with you the best ways to deal with what you don't like in your romantic partner.